So I know that you started songwriting like a million years ago.
Years and years ago.
Years ago when you were 11. Started performing when you were 14.
Yep.
A lot of kids, I guess I'll call even 14's kind of a kid, are just kind of playing and just doing whatever. So was there ever a time you look back and kind of wish you had waited a little bit longer to get into it?
No, not at all. I actually did all the regular things I think kids that age were doing, playing sports and high school stuff. I just crammed that on top of it. So instead of just being out playing, you know, maybe kicking the ball around, I was in playing on a sampler and writing music. So
that's inspiring, I think, for a lot of people that'll hear that, you know, if they're 14.
Love to do it.
Yeah, exactly. If they're 14-year-olds that are like, I have no idea what I like, just try something out.
Well, especially nowadays, studio equipment is so cheap, and you can do it at home off your Apple computer. So
and you did it way back when.
I did it when you had to pay $3,000 for a sampler and go out and get microphones and tape reels and stuff.
Well,
so
good for you.
It's changed a lot. So any kids out there that want to do it now, it's very possible for them.
So I know around that time there weren't a ton of artists doing anything similar to you. So is that ever did this ever become discouraging to the point that maybe you considered trying a different genre?
I definitely have been beaten down a couple of times with the music industry kind of. There's even a little brief time there I stopped writing music for about 3 years and just freestyled my rap lyrics. And I think in the end that actually made me 10 times better than what I would have been.
Yeah.
Because it forced me to kind of just feel a part of the beat instead of trying to force things.
Yeah,
it just came naturally. So I think it actually improved it. So.
We'll probably never try out the pop genre, for example.
Not necessarily. No, I think this is my heart. It kind of growing up in a smaller place where it necessarily wasn't a huge hip hop scene. It just kind of, I guess it found me.
Yeah, that's
it was meant to be for me. So
for sure, I know that you base a lot of your music on your new album, My Way Out, on very personal times in your life. Were you ever hesitant to share, to not share too much, to not that you would be judged, but that people might question that, or were you kind of just like, this is me, this is it?
Well, to me, this is my therapy. It's saving thousands and thousands of dollars instead of going to see a psychologist. I write music about it. So honestly, it's the best way to handle the things that I probably went through as a kid and as an adult, and I think it's effective. So not scared at all. I'm glad to share it with people, kind of an open book. So
get the thoughts out of your head.
Well, hopefully they can learn from it what not to do. Maybe some things that are right to do. So who knows?
You're inspiring without even realizing it. Probably like that one person could hear your song and be like, okay, I get it.
Hopefully that's what we're trying to do. Keep kids away from maybe the dangers of some of the things that we were doing that we shouldn't have been. So
I know you've opened for the likes of, just name a few, Busta Rhymes, Lloyd Banks, and Nas, a list of others as well. Who is an act that you have just kind of always dreamed, maybe I could open for them someday?
Ice Cube.
Yeah.
It's the entire reason I probably write music and rap today is picked up his Death Certificate album, actually taught myself how to rap from listening to that album.
Wow.
Rewriting his lyrics, trying to learn how he flowed it properly, and went from there. And that's where everything started for me, was probably that album. I took it seriously from that point on. So
simple as that.
I'd love to share a stage with the guy just to say, you know, that he changed my life.
Yeah.
So
even just have a conversation with him at this point.
Oh, guy's a legend. He's amazing.
For sure.
Yeah.
I did see in your influences actually Ice Cube, Marvin Gaye, and Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Which those three names you
don't go together. No.
They don't. I mean, it sounds like an iPod, right? It sounds like that's like kind of a lineup
on shuffle.
On shuffle, exactly. Yeah. So, is there any artist or band? Well, you just said Ice Cube, but any others that really made you sit up and just be like, I think I want to do music seriously?
Who would have changed? Oh God, there's so many different groups of music. Like I loved Nirvana back in the day. A little bit of everything. Like I mostly do like 60s soul music. It's kind of one of those things. I relax to that music.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I just like everything, honestly. Good music's good music. I don't care what kind of music it is. So
I know that a lot of artists are kind of against, might be the wrong word, but stay away from having their music used in TV shows and movies, commercials and stuff. What do you think about that?
It's a business. That's why it's called the music business. You gotta try and diversify, especially in an age where people aren't picking up albums like they used to. They can go get your music for free no matter what. You can't combat that. So that's another revenue stream. Why not try and be on a TV show or a video game? I think that's just smart. So
that's good. What do you think? What TV show do you think that you'd want to be featured on?
I have no idea. I guess it'd have to be kind of appropriate to the music and to the TV show itself, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I just love to get however I can get my music heard. Doesn't matter to me. I just love to share it with people.
Play it from the loudspeakers on top of a building. If
exactly.
You have to.
Exactly.
So I want to talk about what you have coming up next, but I want to play a game of this or that.
Okay.
Yeah. Oatmeal raisin or chocolate chip cookies?
Chocolate chip cookies.
No hesitation.
No, not at all. Don't like oatmeal.
Oh, there you go. To fly or to become invisible?
That's a good one. Sometimes I wish I was invisible, but I like flying in airplanes. Maybe it'd be kind of neat to fly, I guess.
On the outside of an airplane.
Yeah.
Ideal TV dad, Al Bundy or Danny Tanner?
Al Bundy. Although Danny Tanner in real life is more like Al Bundy than most people would probably admit.
Exactly. That's very good.
He's got a dirty mouth.
He's the opposite of his character.
Yeah, Bob Saget is not Danny Tanner, that's for sure.
It's acting at its finest.
Yeah.
Gelati or ice cream?
Ice cream.
How come?
I don't know, just prefer it. There's so many different kinds. You can have different flavors and they're all generally good. So.
Okay. And to perform or to record?
That's a tough one. I need to record because it helps me on a daily basis, like I said before, but I think performing probably. That interaction with the crowd and to see people actually enjoying your music. You can't see it when they buy it off iTunes. You can't see it when they're playing it at home. But you can see it, you can interact and see and make every person in that crowd feel like they're the only one there. So I think performing.
Awesome. And what do you have coming up next? Are you recording any more right now?
Every single week.
Okay.
Every single week. Got a newborn baby and we somehow managed to balance that out. Somehow my girl sacrifices her time alone and time that she could have to herself so that I could be in the studio every single week. So
awesome.
It's about 3 songs a week and I've been on that pace for about a year now. So
when do you sleep?
Barely.
Yeah, at the studio.
4 hours a day probably between newborn baby, full-time job and a music career. So
that's really inspiring.
Wouldn't be possible without her though. Like I said, she honestly she gives so much to our son and to our family so that I can go out and do this for us. So
for sure. Do you have any upcoming performances in the city?
Trying to think. I've got one on the 25th coming up at the Academy. It's Peg City Roll Call is what it's actually called. It's a hip-hop event with about 30-40 different artists.
Oh, wow.
So
good venue too. That's really
it'll be
good
different, so it'll be nice.
That's cool. That's really I like that because it lets fans of yours see other acts and vice versa. Their fans can latch onto your music as well.
Oh, for sure. And there's a big hip-hop community in Winnipeg. I just don't think people really know about it.
I think it's growing for sure.
Yeah, getting more exposure. We had the awards last week and stuff like that. Some of the guys were getting front page coverage, so it's nice to see people are getting their hard work rewarded.
People are finally sitting up and listening more.
Yeah, well, there's so much talent in Winnipeg.
For
it's
sure.
good.
Where's the best place to keep updated on all your upcoming stuff?
I've got Scott Nixx, official Scott Nixx Facebook. There is Scott Nixx on Facebook. There is Scott Nixx MySpace, and I also have my own website, which is www.onthegrind.ca. That's ONTHAGRIND.ca.
Perfect. All right, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you.